I was out in the great city of Philadelphia with my friend, and we were getting some tapas, which I've never gotten before because Spanish people.
Philadelphia's a state.
How Espanol of you.
I know, and I'm like, fuck the colonizers. But, you know, like, I'm like, you know, they had good food. At least they had that, which was just more that the British can say. So I go to the restroom, right? And I, you know, peruse my way over. I do my business. Just the peas, okay? Let's be clear, because this is going to be very important later. Just the peas, okay? And I am putting my pantaloons back up, and then I hear a plop. And I was like, please let it not be my phone. I'm like, it can't be my phone because I see it right here. And I look down, and I forgot that I had put my AirPods in my front pocket of my pants, and they're in a silicone case. They're in a silicone case, and they are in the toilet of pee. It's a public toilet, though, at a restaurant. And they're just lying there, and I had about a 1 second pause before I went in and grabbed them with my bare hand. Now, what would you guys do? Differently or the same?
Okay, hold on. I have a quick answer because that happened to me when my phone fell in the toilet. It was my phone, though.
Ooh.
Fell into the toilet, had just peed.
Public?
Was in the toilet. Public, picked it up, had my phone, like you know, with the port down. And I took a bunch of, like, once I got out of the bathroom, I took a bunch of paper towels and I was just, like, beating it into, like,
beating your meat?
Paper towels. Because I know if this got stuck, I couldn't charge my phone. And I had work the next day. And I was like, this is my alarm. I was like, I need this to fucking work. So I was, like, pretty much, like, beating the water out of it.
I just touched that phone. Is that the same phone?
No. This was an old phone. This is not the phone now. And it worked. It's just every time I called somebody, it was really staticky.
So you would have. So I did the right
so
thing.
I did the same thing.
Okay.
I did the same thing you did.
Okay. So I'm on the right side of history.
I would have done the same thing. I would have just done the same thing. What are your other options?
Hey, were you drunk?
No.
Oh, I was.
Oh man,
I was.
I don't have an AirPods, right? I'm the friend that does not.
They're
right
still
now,
on sale.
I'm using like the wired ones for my headphones. No big deal. I don't really have a purpose for them right now, so that's why I didn't pull the trigger on buying them.
Okay, but did I do the right thing, Dalia? What would you do? What would Dalia do?
But I would have that's my own fucking pee. So pee is
But it's
sterile as far as I know.
Toilet.
So I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick that shit up. I
What were
paid
you gonna
money.
do? Just leave them there?
I need to do what I can to save my expensive products, okay? And if I save them, all I have is the embarrassment that I reached into my own pee in a public bathroom.
Okay, so
No
it
big
would
deal.
have been. What if you pooped in the toilet? Would you save them?
I think that's
Yeah,
the only
I think I
option.
would have because
I think that's
it's
the
something
only
I
option.
paid
What are you
for.
gonna do, flush an actual $100 down the toilet?
The thing is, like, I figure when you're done using the bathroom and you pull your pants up, at that point, you've already wiped. There's toilet paper buildup on top. I think it's more safe than it was if... I don't know who would not use toilet paper or whatever, but... I mean, I think it'd be
That's
okay,
also true.
salvageable. So...
Yeah.
So you think it would just like hit the like little raft of
There's
toilet
a
paper?
layer, there's a layer of TP to protect me to reach down into I would still do the same
Okay,
thing.
thank
I'll
you
try
guys.
You're
to
getting
save
to
it.
the nitty gritty.
Thank you guys.
But also,
like,
like,
what were you gonna do?
yeah, exactly. Like, you paid for that. Like, why would you not? And
I mean-
especially because you had that 1 second to do it before it was like lingered in the water to like soak up all the water
Yeah,
into
okay.
the electronic. Like, no.
Yeah. Also,
You pick
I
it
guess
up.
the thing I was also concerned about was like I can't put this underwater to clean it, and I'm like, there's no sanitizer, so I like just like wiped it, put a little soapy soap.
Who else is gonna use it?
Yeah.
Who else is gonna use
Yeah.
it?
All right, thank you guys.
I'm not gonna lie,
You're
I
welcome.
probably would have been crazy enough to put water over it.
I would have
That's
too. I was
psychotic.
like,
Really?
as long as you keep
No.
the charger
I
port
wouldn't.
down.
I'd have been like, no, I got to get all of this out of this now. Like I said, I would have done the same thing. To
I would
my
have been
AirPods.
crazy. I would have like I
I
don't know,
would have
maybe
run a little bit of water over
Okay,
it.
so
wipe it down, open it up, take out the actual AirPods, see if those need to be wiped down or anything. Because I don't know how airtight.
how
these
bad
cases
does it
are.
have to be that you wouldn't save it?
Okay, but also, have you seen people put their AirPods into the dryer? That's been through the whole fucking washer and the dryer. And they still pull it out. I don't know if it survives, but, you know, it's like, it's been through water 10 times longer, whatever, than it would have been in the toilet, and it gone through water.
You know
so.
what I think this is?
And if it still manages to work,
I think that I went to school with a bunch, like, in college with a bunch of kids that would just throw the shit around. I think it's us who worked hard for our AirPods that were like, no, I'm going to reach into that toilet bowl. Because I definitely have seen people just leave shit around.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. I think my AirPods died.
Not a problem when you have wired earphones.
Shut the fuck up, Dalia. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I can't hear you over my wired earphones. Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dalia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Ketzel.
And we're just four lovesick singers who love watching movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that marks the first time that we got the magical duo of Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. The Wedding Singer, released in 1998, directed by Frank Carasci?
Yeah.
Rossi.
Thank
I
you.
think. And today's loser is Antonio and Ketzel. Okay.
I'm not doing the us anymore. The us is
All
dead.
right.
Stop on making
Okay,
it.
okay.
Double loser day.
Double loser day. So, you guys, why did we pick this?
Well, I would say this is a classic Adam Sandler movie and
Oh
one
my
of the better
goodness.
ones.
I've
Is
seen
it better
a
than
lo-
50 First Dates?
I think so, yes. And I've
Never
I
seen
do
that.
enjoy this a little bit more than 50 First Dates, but I do enjoy that as well. It's not I would say like compared to like
I love them
Jack
both.
and Jill and like any of the newer ones that's come out, cuz like I would say like
I actually
Click.
I'll be
Click,
honest.
like well,
Out of them, I know.
Out of all of those movies just listed, I actually can only tell you anything about 50 First Dates.
yeah, no, and that's fair cuz like those are
Amazing.
like his
That's a good comparison, though.
Like-
if he was gonna compare,
Well,
any
they were in
movies that
3
he's
together, right?
casting Together,
Yeah.
yeah, several movies. Yep.
but like because the classic ones that come to mind are like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding
Little
Singer,
Nicky.
Little Nicky, just like all of
I
these.
don't know any of these.
Are you
Right?
serious?
Dude,
Honestly,
you're missing
none of
out.
these.
Okay, I guess
50
Adam
First Dates is
Sandler.
the only Adam Sandler movie I can
I've
tell
never
you
seen
I've
50
sat
First-
down and watched.
Dude, I
I've
guess
never
Adam
seen that.
Sandler is my fucking vein because I've seen most of his films.
I've
And
seen most
even,
of his films as well.
Even his Netflix movie that came out last Halloween, Hubie Halloween.
I wanted to watch
love that one.
Was it good?
It was so good.
Oh, I want to watch it because I love Halloween. But
He was great in Uncut Gems. He was fabulous in Uncut Gems.
that's a whole different movie, which we will get to because
I
that
don't
is
even know that.
noting.
I know it is.
That
I
is
know it's
worth
a completely
noting.
different movie. But he was, I'm like, okay, range.
But I'm talking about like the classic like comedy movies he's been in, and that
Classic
he like
Adam Sandler. That's
Yeah.
non-classical.
Right.
But Dahlia just said horror movie.
No, I
it's
said
not a
She
horror
said
movie.
Halloween
It is
movie. She
it
did
is
not
an
say
Adam
horror.
Sandler movie, but it is set in Halloween,
Yes.
like during
Fucking
Halloween.
Adam Sandler.
I still feel like it's
I thought
not,
it was spooky.
I still feel like it's not quite PC because it seems like the main character is like on the spectrum, but and he's playing this character, but I'm not sure. Either way, I found it delightful and I liked watching it. And you'd see a lot of familiar faces, people you don't expect. So I think I like that about Adam Sandler films. Is like there's a lot of people, but also a lot of familiar faces. Like of course, we're gonna see a lot of familiar faces here, and I won't say it just yet because we'll go over the actors in a second. But another reason we chose this movie was because it's Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler's first movie together, and honestly, this kind of just like sparked that whole like rom-com moment for Adam Sandler movies. And honestly, like I just can't believe you haven't seen this. Like,
I can't believe you haven't
So
seen
good.
50 First Dates. I don't even know why I've seen it. I'll be real. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Billy Madison is a movie that I might have been in the room while it was playing. What were the other ones?
Happy Gilmore,
Probably
Little
I was
Nicky.
in
that
the
was the
room.
golfing one. Little Nicky's like he's the son of the devil.
Oh, maybe it's Little Nicky that I've seen, like pieces of when I was younger. But the only one I can sit here and say that I've seen is 50 First Dates, and I do love that movie. I think it's a really cute movie.
It is a very cute movie.
My reason, I don't have a reasoning. I don't dislike rom-coms. I love rom-coms. My favorite film of all time, Big Eden, is a rom-com. I don't know why. I just like comedy movies particularly, which is one half of rom-coms. I never seek out. I'm never mad when they're playing. I'm never mad if someone makes me watch it. But I just for some reason don't seek
Not
it
drawn.
out. And I don't.
That's
It's not that I'm
definitely
not.
isn't for me.
Yeah, I'm not drawn to it. Yeah, but like I like it when I watch them. Like I have a very good feeling that I'm going to love this film, But I just don't know why I never. I was too busy watching Shrek 2, The Da Vinci Code,
You
Or
know what?
Possum.
I 100% believe you because just like
Pride and Prejudice,
Wedding Singer was also one of those movies that played on E, I think, a lot.
all the time.
And I didn't watch The Devil Wears Prada either, and it was always on E. So like, there we go. It's just something that didn't pique your interest enough for you to like sit down and watch the whole thing. So
You know what?
I understand.
This actually, I wanted to do this when we were talking about another episode. What draws you to watching a movie?
I don't know.
There is no
Genre?
specific
Genre?
No,
Okay,
I guess
so
for me.
Everything in a
even think
genre in general. But there are
For
certain
me, I'm
movies.
saying for me.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
So just genre, but you don't look anything. Why do you pick that movie over this movie in a genre?
Actor. If I'm like, oh, I really enjoy this actor, and I like everything that they do.
So you're just
then
trying to
I'm
broaden
going
your database on things you already
Yeah,
know.
actor, genre. If the director, I already know. Like for example, like we talk a lot about Blumhouse films. We're like, we love a Blumhouse film, so we're gonna watch it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like stuff like that draws me to like what I already know, my prior knowledge. I'm like, I'm gonna check that out.
I think for me it's like anything, because like I'll watch like a movie that I've heard a subset of people like, and I'm curious about it, so I'll watch it. Or if I see a movie that
Yeah.
that premiered on Netflix that's new that everyone's talking about, I'll watch that too.
Mhm.
Like same with like shows too.
Buzz.
Like that's why I started
Yeah.
watching that YA show that we stopped watching.
Oh,
Shadow and
Shadow
Bone.
and Bone.
Shadow and Bone.
Yeah.
I started
Uh,
watching that because everybody was talking about it, and I was like, I like YA.
Yeah, I like doing that too, but sometimes it doesn't get me. Like, I think Bird Box, I've never seen Bird Box, and everybody just would not shut the heck up about it. But I'm more of a series watcher rather than a movie watcher. For some reason in my brain, it comprehends like watching like 45-minute intervals rather than like an hour and 30 minutes, because for some reason I don't know why I can't handle that capacity. It's practically the same, basically double the same time. So I don't know, but I don't have a specific criteria for why I would watch a movie over not watching a movie. I think it's just rather interest. If anything, if I'm like, oh yeah, that seems cool, then I'll just do it rather than like, I see something and I'm like,
I think for
What
me.
about you?
For me, I think a lot of it is like, I want to say it's like production value, and it doesn't matter like in what part. It might be like, oh, where was it shot, or who are the actors and how good are they acting, or just what the cinematography looks like. Certain things like that just make me look at a movie and like, okay. But then on the other end, it's just what do other people talk about. So a lot of the movies that I may have seen or referenced, and the ones that you guys either hate or just like have this weird distaste, is because I probably looked it up on the internet and was like, what horror movie to watch? And this is back when like my only resources for watching movies, because streaming services were not as big, was the library. And these movies
Yeah.
were found at the library, and
Yeah.
it was like, huh, all right.
Good
Either
point.
that or in other places on the internet that probably shouldn't exist.
No.
The dark web.
Okay.
Not that.
One of the one movie that movie that I hold near and dear to my heart that we all love is Repo, the Genetic Opera. I got that movie
Yes.
from the library. The first time I watched that movie because I rented it from the library. So I
look
can
at us
attest
now.
to that.
Right? I love
Big
Repo.
fans of Repo.
I
you
have
seen-
not seen it.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
I
goth
love-
kids.
I love
Oh.
musicals, so I think
It's-
it's a musical.
I think you would love it.
So
It's a
musical.
fantastic.
it's on my
fantastic
list
movie.
of my fake list of movies I want to watch, because now it's real. Like now it's for the podcast. Like that's my actual like I've never seen it. Like I'll
It's
add
not
to
on the
it.
podcast list, but I will definitely add it right now.
Oh my goodness.
It can be a special episode because no one else has fucking heard of it. So
But I mean-
a lot of horror.
Yeah,
people have-
it makes its circuits with
It
its
does.
crowds.
But have you seen, or do you know anything about the movie as far as like Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore's in it?
this is what I know, and then I'm gonna throw it to Antonio, who might know more.
Oh, I know even
All
less than
I've-
you. I know that for a fact.
Let me tell you what I know. Adam Sandler is a wedding singer. He has wild hair and wears a white suit at some point. That's all I know.
I didn't know the white suit or that he was the wedding singer. It could have been about someone else being a wedding singer. For all I knew, I know that it's a movie called The Wedding Singer, and that Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler are in it. And apparently, it's better than 50 First Dates. So I now know that. And so now that's kind of hyped up for me. And I was like, what? I really like 50 First Dates.
Well,
I think
hey,
it's a really
well,
cute
hey.
movie.
I'll say, like, for me, it's better than 50 First Dates after having seen both of them. Like, and I probably saw both of them. I saw The Wedding Singer first, but yeah, I think you would find it charming. I don't know if it would surpass 50 First Dates for you because you've seen it first, and that might be a bias thing. But I think that you could find a lot of charmingness in this movie.
I do
You
too.
especially.
I do too, but I am going to say that you will like 50 First Dates better.
I do think
That's-
50 First
that's
Dates
my-
is really
That's my
cute.
hunch, but I really do love this movie. And another point too of why is like it's a classic rom-com, and the soundtrack alone, I think one of the songs in this movie is like such a great romantic song, and it's so good.
And it's an original song.
and it's an original
I'm
song
so
for the movie.
excited.
I'm excited for that.
And it makes me tear up every time I watch
And
this
I
movie
like-
because it's so
I'm
sweet.
so excited.
I want
I-
to talk about 50 First Dates, but having Q not having seen it,
It's
I'm
on-
like,
yeah.
there's the reason
that
why I
wouldn't be
probably
fair.
one of the reasons that I probably like that
Yeah.
movie is because is a very specific reason, and it's specific to the plot point of 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think
What
that
if
would be
what if I take off my headphones?
no,
Wait,
no,
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 no.
no.
episode
it wouldn't
eventually.
be fair because it just wouldn't be fair.
No.
it wouldn't be fair. I would actually rather you like
I would rather watch this movie in its entirety with you.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
I
'Cause
would rather,
you would really
like,
enjoy that one
you
too, 'cause
see
it is
50
also-
First Dates.
very sweet.
I love rom-coms, and I'm excited to through this podcast to watch all the rom-coms I never got to watch.
Right?
too.
I'm
Me too.
like they're a guilty pleasure. I
That's,
don't
like,
I
one of
don't
my
ever
favorite-
gravitate towards
I love
them.
rom-com.
There's always like a horror movie or a sci-fi movie or an action movie that just is piquing my interest more. And it's just whenever there's a big rom-com coming out, I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it sort of situation. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
yeah,
not
same.
that into you. You know how I feel about that movie?
honestly, and I will say this right now because he's
Wow,
talking to
tea.
me. Is I'm so surprised you like that movie because you were so you.
do?
I do
And
like
you
that
really love that movie, and it
I
just
do
shocks
like
me
that
every
movie.
time you say it. I'm like,
I've never
oh my
seen
God.
it.
Oh
It's
my
good.
god. Okay.
I'll add that.
But as much I didn't watch
Rom-coms.
that until much later, and it wasn't like when it first releases or anything like that. It was probably, I don't know, someone either rented it or it made its way into the house somehow or another, and I just happened to watch it and I was like, huh,
It's
I really like it.
My heart is going pitter-patter,
Oh my
pitter-patter.
Like
Goodness.
literally, it's one of the few movies that actually made my heart go pitter patter, pitter patter. Like
Maybe-
other like rom-com
maybe it's
movies,
the
I'm just like,
awesome-
meh.
Also, like
It could
Justin
be the awesome
Long.
cast. It
That
could
scene
just
with
be
Justin
love
Long.
him.
There's
Mhm.
a lot of great people in the cast of that movie, but
That's
let's
true.
talk about the cast of this movie.
That's true. That's true.
So, like in this movie, obviously we have Adam Sandler, who we've talked about to death, and we will continue.
Who
to
I
talk
don't
about to death.
love.
You hot take.
You what?
I don't love Adam Sandler. Maybe that's why I,
I
never. 'cause
don't. I
was-
don't I don't put him on a pedal like some people. Pedestal.
There you
So-
go.
Pedestal. I was like pedal.
Pedal.
You put him on a
pedestalized.
pedal.
I
There you
was
go,
trying to
champ.
say like
gas
pedalized.
pedal, gas pedal.
I do not put him on any sort of pedestal for
Really?
me. I'm not like a big comedy person.
Okay, but
I
Drew
think-
Barrymore for me, yes, I fucking do because I'm in love with her and she's
you know what?
my
That's
celebrity.
maybe one of the reasons why I
female
brought up
crush.
he's just not that into you is Drew Barrymore.
Barrymore.
Oh, she is in that. Huh?
And she's
Yeah,
a Charlie's Angel.
Actually,
I haven't seen that.
That we're gonna watch Charlie's
That's also
Angels.
on the list. I don't know what episode, but it's coming soon.
Yo.
But I think Drew Barrymore was in
It's
that
all
movie
coming
because
together.
she's a producer for
Oh,
He's
that
Just
makes
Not That
sense.
Into You. I'm not entirely sure.
She is so absolutely talented. I can literally go off about her, but I'm not going to right now because I don't want.
it's for another day.
Oh, she was in E.T.,
Yes, she
which is also another movie we will be watching.
That Ketzel's apparently afraid of. If you've seen our Instagram post, we'll
I
talk
don't
about
wanna
that another
talk
time.
about it.
And
Anyway,
we also have Christine Taylor, Jodie Thelen, and Alan Covert.
I
think it's
keep
Covert.
reading that as Alien Covert.
Alien
and I'm
Covenant.
I'm like, what? That's like a fake name an alien would give. It's like, oh yes, my name is Alien Covert.
And I believe also one of the Arquettes is in this movie, and I'm surprised that they
Which
were not
one?
listed.
Which one?
What's her name? I forget her name.
Oh,
No.
Patricia.
Alexis.
You know how I feel about David Arquette,
The Boy.
the boy.
Dude, I'm so excited for Scream 5. So random.
I
Yes.
love Scream.
Alexis. It's Alexis Arquette.
Oh. Is she in it?
Yes,
Oh.
she is.
I just wrote down the
She's-
first when I just wrote down the first that they listed.
Yeah, and I believe she's trans also. So wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love.
I would say though, like, because I don't know for you, Dahlia, because I know they don't particularly like Adam Sandler. For me, I really loved SNL and everything from
yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
I'm drawn towards those movies, like Chris Farley and David Spade and all
Do you
them.
love
from
Night at the Roxbury?
Yes, I
Oh
do.
my god.
Oh my god.
And Will Ferrell, like I am
Chris
very much.
Kattan.
I love all of these movies.
Okay.
I grew up with my family watching a lot of these
Of
SNL
SNL,
comedy
okay.
movies. So like that's why like I loved Hot Rod so much, and I made you guys watch Hot Rod because
It spawned from an SNL skit.
well, no, it didn't spawn from a skit, but it was produced by Lorne Michaels, who was in charge of
Ooh,
SNL.
yes.
And
Okay,
Andy
I-
Samberg and Bill Hader were in it from SNL, but I love it so much. I
Yeah,
love
no,
these movies so much, so I'm drawn towards these movies. So
Yeah.
I'm used to these movies, whereas I don't think you guys are
I did not grow up
into
with
these movies.
with Adam Sandler on SNL, but I did, come to know him as like, through media and stuff, and I think that's where I found more of an appreciation for him. And I know Ketzel, you're not really into Adam Sandler, but I hope this movie might change your mind because I know how much you love the 80s, so I'm hoping that you can have some really great things to say later.
That's why I think you're gonna love this movie because this movie is so good.
And we get
I'm
to
excited.
see a celebrity, but I'm not going to tell you who that is. It's a surprise.
Celebrity.
Oh, it's so good.
Mbawe, that
Let's-
means, yeah.
All right. Ready? I'm ready to fall in love. Are you ready, Antonio?
I
All
am.
right. Let's fall in love, you guys. We'll see you in a second. I don't either. He was like,
Hi.
on Xbox.
All right, and we're back.
Must we?
Yes, we are. We're back. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my god, you guys. Yeah, it starts out great. Adam Sandler's like having the time of his life. He's singing the song, "You Spin Me Right Round," and like yeah, it's so funny because
Banger.
yeah, it is. And he's singing and then he stops singing so the best man can talk, which is the brother of the groom. And it's a hidden Steve Buscemi who fucks
Is
it
it really
all up.
hidden, though?
No. But we didn't, it wasn't in the actors list, so of course I'm going to say hidden because we didn't know that at the time. But
Fuck the hidden Mickey.
There's-
Hidden Steve Buscemi in every single film.
we love it. We're big fans. So yeah, Steve Buscemi fucks up the wedding a little bit. He's like, yeah, you don't love me, Dad. You always loved this guy better. And, of course, Robbie Adam Sandler, like, takes over and he's like, you guys are going to love each other forever. And I know it because of the way I've seen you guys all day. And it really was just so awesome. And then even Steve Buscemi's like, that's a great wedding singer. And you just realize, like, this is the whole movie. Is like, Robbie's a good guy. He just, he loves,
He's such a good guy.
he loves making people happy. And, maybe it wasn't his idea to be a wedding singer, but here he is and he's doing it right.
I'm so enamored by Adam Sandler because of this movie now.
Man.
He was such a good guy.
Okay.
He's so
I
sweet.
honestly, I still think I like 50 First Dates more.
I knew
you
it.
would.
I knew you
I
would.
knew you would.
I called that at the beginning. That's fine because that was also a good movie. But I just something about this movie is so like charming. Also, I really love the soundtrack.
Oh my god, the whole way through you're just like, yeah, like every time.
Oh yeah, every single song, and it was just we were just living. And I would love to get into why you like 50 First Dates once I've seen it, because I am curious by that and like what the differences are and vibes.
Because you haven't seen
Is
either.
this one more wholesome?
So
This one, I
Yeah.
feel like
This one's just more like child-hearted fun. The other one is like purely wholesome.
Debate.
well, no, we can't. we can't
because
debate
I don't
it
wanna
because you
ruin
haven't
it for
seen
you.
it.
No, yeah. All right,
So-
let's get back to this summary though. So they cut on to I guess what's his name? Shit, Robbie's wedding day.
Wow, okay, I see
Yeah.
how much you like this quote unquote like this movie.
It was fun. But Robbie's wedding day comes and it's supposed to be all beautiful. It's a too long of a wait. And then Linda's not coming to the wedding. Basically, she's decided that Robbie's the wrong man for her.
He basically gets stood up at the altar, which is like literally the worst thing ever.
I can't fathom.
And it's so sad because, you know, you just saw him at the beginning of the movie so happy, so excited for his wedding. And here he is being stood up and he proceeds to break a mirror and everybody hears it. And then there's crying.
By the lovely George, right?
Yes.
Is their name. George is a fucking standout by Alexis Arquette. Fucking standout. Even from the first scene. When I feel like they were such the butt of the jokes. But I'm like, your singing is impeccable. Keep going. More.
Yeah, I really like their cover.
I loved her.
Well, that's because it was done twice.
Yeah.
It was done twice,
We've heard it at
and
least 3 times in the movie. But
I'd be
still.
like,
Was that a wedding?
Yeah, it's not a very big wedding song, but it's still good. But yeah, it's so sad. He gets stood up and then, you know, we see him afterwards. We find out that he's always wanted to get married, that he loves so much. And then Linda, of course, shows up and she's like, I just couldn't marry you. Like Antonio said, I can't marry you because I'm marrying a wedding singer? Like, what the fuck? And then he says one of my favorite lines ever because anytime I'm just like, wow, you know, the communication is so fucking big for me. So, like, it always stood out for me when he said, of course, this is things that could have been mentioned to me, or sorry, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday. And I'm just like, isn't that just the fucking thing? That's like my favorite quote.
communication's key.
So obviously he's just like, fuck you, fuck this, heartbroken. And even though he's like heartbroken, he still goes back to work. And during this time, Julia sets a date for her wedding. And it's so sad. We see him like, of course, so hurt. And he's singing these like terrible versions of songs at a wedding. And it's so sad. I would have totally fired him. But yeah, he starts singing Love Stinks after calling out the mutants at Table 9 and a bunch of other unlovable, quote-unquote, people at the wedding party. And although it was a really great version, he got attacked by the groom or whatever, the wedding party's father. And that was amazing. And then he goes into a dumpster.
You know, we've talked about a lot of violence against like women, like in older like 80s films, and I think prior to this. And this is something I've seen written about, and I'm not the brains to give you the discourse, but whenever I watch an older like a 90s or like sort of early 2000s movie, and even shows that time, the rampant fat phobia, just the throwaway comments left and right, I always forget and I'm always shocked by.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like he straight up calls...
I always forget how prevalent it was.
He literally
at the time.
calls the guy fatty. He's like, and you guys better cut the cake right now. Because that guy's
He's
gonna
gonna
have
have a heart attack if he doesn't eat.
Yeah, and it's like, wow.
A little fucked.
And it's always in these movies.
Mhm.
It is something I always forget about. And it does, I've seen like discourse of like it sours these movies so much, but like so much of this movie also had so much good heart that I can look past it.
Yeah, there
but
is...
just putting it out there. Don't want to gloss that over either.
No, I feel like there's a lot of good and bad in Adam Sandler movies because they're the jokes of that time, right? Like he's been in movies since like, I don't know, I'm going to say the 90s. Like, so there's been a lot of things since then. Actually, again, going back to Hubie Halloween, I don't think it's entirely like great because like, again, I think the main character that he plays seems to be on the spectrum. So I'm like, is that really correct? But otherwise it was a charming movie. So I feel like there's a lot to talk about there, but it's very Adam Sandler-esque for sure.
Yeah.
But at this point, Julia finds him in the dumpster and he's like, yo, did everybody leave? And she's like, yeah, there's just some police questioning people because it was a whole ass mess. Like he really was like so down in the dumpities that he got into a dumpster. He was that down. So she's like, okay, cool. Well, you should just come to my engagement party in 2 weeks. And then he just walks away like sulking. And I'm like, that is so stereotypically sad. Like, you know, hands in pockets. You see him from behind and you're like, oh. And it was really such a moment. But, you know, he does make it to the party. And like, he ends up feeling a little bit better even though he doesn't want to be there because he's roasting his friend Sammy, who comes in looking like Michael Jackson basically. And
And continues to do so for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, what's up with that? You know, it was months. I think there was like 3 months time that passed in the movie because they're like, it's 3 months away. It's next week. And like,
It's the same red jacket.
in the summer though. In the summer.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be in
Maybe
August.
that's fashion.
That is fashion. We got to do it for the outfit.
The shoes are part of the outfit.
It's the fit. But yeah, he feels better after roasting his friend, and that was really cool. And he gives Julia some tips for her wedding, since, you know, he's been around weddings for like the past like 6 years or whatever. So she appreciates that. And then he goes to another gig, and this one turns out better. It's was it bar mitzvah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously he's doing much better.
Is this when we meet Glenn? Is at that party, or do we meet him beforehand?
We all meet Glenn at the engagement party. No, or do we meet him beforehand? Fuck.
I think he's like.
I think he has a minor cameo beforehand, but not meeting.
Well, Robbie,
Robbie.
I guess, meets him at the
Yeah.
engagement party.
Right. So Glenn is Julia's fiance, and he's a complete jackass. I don't know what kind of he's just a man.
No, he's a
Some
yuppie.
Stereotypical
He's
man.
a yuppie. That's like literally what it is.
Yuppies are like young professionals, right? Yeah.
Yep. And
Remember all.
they go work on Wall Street. They work in bonds. They get rich. They do a lot of coke and dress like Miami Vice.
I love Wolf on Wall Street, which I've never seen. Which we will see.
I don't think they're yuppies in Wolf on Wall Street, because I thought.
No. Well, any young professional's a yuppie, so like.
I don't think they're
I'm a
young, either
yuppie.
one of them.
He's a shark. That's what I call him. But anyway, yeah, it's great. And at this point, we see that Glenn is not interested at all in helping planning this wedding. He's like, oh, you know, I thought that you could do it. You like that kind of stuff, don't you? And I was just like, bitch, fuck you, first of all. Like, I will spend all of your money, but also fuck you, because he doesn't want to even spend the time with Julia. It's so sad. And at that point, she's like, who do I turn to? Nobody knows anything. I'm new in this town. Because she had just moved there to be with him, which is like crazy already. And she's like, Robbie, can you help me? And like, I wanted to ask this question, you guys. Do you think it was fair of her to ask him to help her? I know he's knowledgeable, but I don't think that was fair of her to ask. Because that's really not a place to put a man and also someone you don't know.
He started it. He opened the door.
He did.
He opened the door when he said, go to Tony's for flowers as opposed to Marshall's. And he obviously was like, nah, don't do that. So obviously, and he came out coming like he actually knew what he was talking about. And so, you know, they were chill at that point. Would you be nice enough to help me?
I mean, I feel like that was just kind of offhand nice comment, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a, here, let me help you. I'm inviting myself to be part of this. It's like, no, don't do that. Just go to this place. It's way better.
I agree with Dalia that it's a throwaway comment, but I will say I don't think it was not okay because he's a man and they just met. I don't think it's okay because he just literally got stood up at his own wedding.
Other good
And
points.
to put him
That
to
was-
put him in that
I'm
position
more
of
in
like
that
plan my
particular
wedding.
one.
Yeah.
But he started it. He gave some advice, and you know, if anyone's ever given you advice, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe they have some advice about this other one, and then it's not like she was like, oh, you have to help me or anything.
Is this
She
like-
asked.
Another Stanley Tucci moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say that brings it back to that whole thing of
The
like,
toot.
open, you know, you.
To get an
Yeah.
inch, take a mile,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You show me a little bit of niceness. I don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was like the right place to be like, hey, you be my buffer, basically. Like, you be my, you know, stand-in. And I think he's knowledgeable, and I think coming to him for some advice, but not like going with her to places. Like, when they were tasting cakes, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. It
I
just
think
seems
that's
like
more-
rubbing
That's a
salt in
little
a wound.
weird. Because
I think that was more like just movie magic trying to like set up, oh, they like each other sort of stuff. And so it's
No,
like
I mean, for
it's a
sure. This is all
necessary
movie
thing,
magic.
But like,
But
you know, it's not realistic at all, would you really? But I mean, if someone asked, or if someone like asked for someone's input, then you would probably want to be there the whole step of the way. If he didn't want to, then he would have said no. It's that easy.
That's
to,
also true.
you know, the worst thing that someone could possibly say about asking is no.
he's too fucking nice.
Oh my god, he totally
too
was,
fucking nice
though.
to say
Wasn't he kind of like a doormat?
Yeah, he was a complete doormat
Yeah.
most of the movie.
So, like, no, he couldn't have been able to say no. He'd just be like, okay, sure, why not?
Wow, he's getting even more complex by the second.
He's three-dimensional.
Ooh.
But they start planning stuff together. Does this lead to that fucking, like, conversation about a church kiss? Because I want to get in on that.
We do. That's like right up next. So like they were doing arrangements, and then that John Lovitz, who is Jimmy Moore, who was singing the song. He was
He's great.
He's a wonderful. He's been in practically everything. Everybody knows his face. Everybody knows his voice. He's a very popular actor. So I think he did a really good job playing like a really cheesy, horrible person.
But not even like long-term horrible. He wasn't like an antagonist or anything. He was just like there, kind of like Steve Buscemi.
It was great.
Buscemi?
I say Buscemi, but he can say what he wants.
You know what?
Let
I
him.
don't
Let
know
him.
why I feel like I've heard Buscemi before.
But let's not, before we get to the church kiss, like, of course, looking at this wedding singer,
We gotta talk about the best song.
we gotta talk about the best original song in this fucking film.
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, because, like, she's like, oh my god, why don't you sing one of your original songs? And then Robbie's like, I don't know, man. I wrote, like, half of it when I was in love with Linda, and then half of it when I broke up with her. So, like, it's kind of fucked. And she's like, oh my god, no, I want to listen to it. Can you just play it for me? I love it. And then he does. And so he's playing this song, and it's great, and we like it. And then suddenly it, like, totally twists, turns something crazy. And, like, you guys know what this one is. It's like, the somebody kill me, please. And, like,
I fully did not expect this. I was like, oh, is this the... Because you guys were like, oh my god, there's that one song I really love that's original for this movie. And I'm like, oh, here it is. It's happening. So I was shook.
It was fantastic. I love it.
It was great.
It's so
It was-
and you're like in the times when you feel that you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I do hope you fucking choke.
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a great song. If you guys haven't heard it, like, you guys gotta watch this
It's
movie.
on
just to
Spotify.
Oh, it's so... Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, for that treasure. Okay,
Church kiss.
montage happens. Everybody,
Oh, yeah.
we're falling in love. Church kiss. Let's talk about it.
What's your opinions on how like you should kiss when you're having your first kiss as like a married spouse?
Dude, I think you should have
Partnership.
sex on the altar.
You know,
In front of all your
slit a goat's
friends and
throat,
family
you
and
know,
God.
lube up using the
Rearrange
Let
your
goat
them know.
guts
blood,
on the altar.
and then sex on the altar.
No.
You know, call out to the moon.
You guys are not coming to my
Ow.
wedding when I get married to Antoine again.
Ow.
Wait, are you?
We want to do a big one eventually.
Are you serious?
Of course we do, but it'll be in France.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry.
I love weddings though, so I'll be there.
We'll be there.
But wow, you guys. Okay. I'm just gonna be the normie here and be like,
No.
Joking.
I'll
They're all
kind of
jokes.
a kind of open
I'm
mouth
not.
kiss. I want to know. I want to show people that I fucking love you. I want to show that I fucking love you. I'm not gonna be like sliding my tongue down your fucking throat, but I am gonna like open mouth kiss you. And if I want to slip a little tongue, I will.
So church kiss was right on the money.
It's my God-given right.
No, the kiss they did, and that's probably on the money. It is a really good.
That
kiss.
was a really good kiss. Like I love
was
that
true
kiss.
love.
It was a good kiss. Like
None of us know
for
what that's
for
like,
film.
except for Dalia.
I do like
Yeah,
Antoine.
that's true.
Yeah, I know. Good for you.
I asked for a kiss earlier and I got one, so it was like nice.
Man, that must be
Remember,
nice.
Remember when
When we were all here, and he's like, "You're not even listening."
I need a smooch.
I can't just go ask someone on the street for that, you know?
Yeah.
Why
Actually,
not?
you
Through tears.
could, but
You
I wouldn't
could.
recommend it.
They may try to charge you money.
Oh.
And charge me. I'll be charging them, baby.
Okay. All right.
Oh gosh. But is that your final answer, Sky?
I was joking. I literally said I think the kiss
I'm
they
not.
did in the movie was good.
So that's like church kiss appropriate. Okay. What about you?
I think it was maybe a bit more than for a wedding. I mean, for in front of your friends and family and whatnot. But it's with an acceptable, like...
What do you want? Like a
A
peck?
peck.
No, not like that. No tongue. Actually,
I-
church kiss, no tongue.
No lips.
No lips.
No mouth.
You know, some people can't help it. Some people just don't have lips.
And
those
yeah,
people
that's a
somehow
fucking
still end up
drag.
getting our hearts.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say some of them are still attractive, and we don't know why.
Hot take.
We don't know
Wait,
why.
is that Jam
I was-
Ramcom you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Jam Ramcom.
Oh, can
There-
I just specify real quick? When I keep saying Jam Ramcom, I mean James Ranson.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm so sorry to everybody.
Who thinks that you're being
Ransom, we love
serious?
you.
We're so sorry that you thought she was being
PJ,
serious.
we love you so much.
I know his real name. It's just everybody's so horny for him that I just find it hilarious to say his name wrong. And now everybody just
we just we know who you're talking about.
You-
So
We
we're
Oh
just
yeah.
Jam, yeah.
we keep
yeah,
it moving.
Yeah.
it continues.
A rose
so-
by any other name.
James Ranson, if you're listening,
smell us,
all my
Jam.
friends love you and they're really horny for you. And my personal number is I'm not gonna give it to you.
Yeah. I will give you my personal number.
You can text me at blah 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 blah. blah.
Oh gosh, but yes, that's who it is. Go on, Ketzel. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it needed to be clarified. I was gonna say there was this one wedding I went to. I don't even know what the relation was, but they did just a peck. Like literally, it was like beep, 1 second, just a. And I was like 11, and I was like,
Do you even love each
"That's
other?
it? Do you even want to be here? I want to be here. I want to be here more than you want to be here.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to
Do it again,
retake.
but slow like.
And you were 11.
Do it again, but nice and slow like.
Oh my
You're
God.
twisted.
Because you want to see as a spectator to be like, yeah, those guys are really in love, you know?
I felt nothing.
What are your
I
guys'
were
like, thought
11.
processes
I feel
on,
so
like,
sad for those guys.
the nose rub, like the Eskimo kiss.
What?
As my wedding kiss?
Not
Absolutely
like
not.
as part of it.
No,
dude.
no.
I'd be like, what? Get a room, you guys.
I would vomit all over them.
I didn't pay money to fly you guys out here and not watch me
Eskimo
kiss my
yeah.
person. Like I fucking
Unless
mean
y'all are
it. You know?
absolutely. Unless y'all are Eskimo kissing your dicks, I don't want to see that shit.
Good lord.
Unless you're rubbing your dicks together, I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
Fraudage only.
How will I know you love each other?
Is that how they do it at weddings now?
They should.
Hey, it's sanitary, right? It's like COVID safe.
What's up?
Get out. Why? Okay, he went to do this church kiss because she forgot her jacket, and I think at that point he realizes himself, and like his friend realizes, oh my God, you got a crush on her, and he's like, I'm just taking back her jacket, and so he gets thrown into this church kiss, and then Glenn comes in and he's like, I kissed her, but it didn't mean anything. I just came to give her the jacket, and then he just leaves, and I'm like, wow, you couldn't have made that more awkward. Good job. And then Julia's cousin Holly was there to witness the whole thing, and she's like, oh my God, I should ask him out after you just kissed him. And I'm like,
Holly's so beautiful.
would I don't know if I would get horny watching my cousin kiss some dude, but okay.
Ew.
That's what happened.
They were cousins, dude.
That was facts.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But we can
I
move
was
on.
my blinders were on.
We can just move on to how hot she was, because holy moly.
And
yeah,
she
my
was
blinders
nice.
were on.
Yeah.
She was so nice. She was not
nice.
a like.
She wasn't like a terrible person. I mean, I guess that the
Yeah.
evil mean bitch slot was filled by Linda.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
where she's from also? She was in the very Brady Bunch movie, and she goes,
She's
sure,
Jan.
Jan.
Yeah,
Is that her?
Yeah.
that's her.
Yeah,
Christine Taylor.
And she's married to Ben Stiller.
Aw,
Oh my god.
I love Zoolander.
I've never seen it.
I love Zoolander. That movie's so funny.
And is that on the list? Because I'm gonna put it
I
on right
love
now.
Zoolander.
No, we should.
I
she
love
is in it.
Zoolander.
As we discussed earlier, I don't super care for comedies.
It's not
Uh,
a rom-com. It's just a
It's
comedy.
just a
not.
comedy.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah.
less so. At least the rom-com has the romance part going for it.
Anyway, they go on a double date. Julia, Glenn, Robbie, and what was her name?
Me.
Holly.
Holly. They go on a double date, and
Yeah.
Julia drinks because she's
Too much.
jealous, and she drinks
Jelly.
too much. And then she gets really sick because she drinks too much and has to go to the bathroom. So Holly goes with her, And at this point, Robbie finds out that Glenn's just a cheating asshole, basically. Just a really big, huge, gaping asshole.
If we didn't know that before, we know that now.
Yeah.
Fuck Glenn.
Yeah, I don't like his name. I feel like it's so smug.
It's a bully name.
There we go. Add it to our list of bully names. What is it?
Glenn.
Chuck and Glenn
And
Chuck,
Antonio.
and
Glenn,
Antonio
Bifferton.
and
Antonio.
Bifferton.
I thought Glenn's not a bully name. I mean, it's not a. This Glenn is a terrible, terrible name, but Glenn is not a bully name.
What's a good Glenn?
Glenn Close.
Oh, Dave, you got me there, gay.
Glenn. Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Damn.
I've never seen The Walking Dead.
What a shame! I'm watching it right now. I could tell you all about it.
I've heard.
But I don't know. He's kind of he's just so icky. He's just so icky, and he's totally like, man, I work in the city. Who gives a fuck? Like Julia was with me before I even got rich, so I know I can trust her. She's not after my money or whatever. So, you know, she's gonna be my at-home wife, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of girlfriends on the side. No big deal. And it's just so gross. But he does have the coolest stuff. He's like, that was a DeLorean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a fucking DeLorean.
Okay, so Holly tries to make the moves on, I almost called him Ben Stiller, nope, Adam Sandler, on Robbie, and he's like, no, I think not. And so she figures out that he has a crush on her. And then she says, well, she's looking for stability. That's why she's marrying Glenn. She needs financial stability and all that. And that really hurts Robbie, right? Because one, it's not him, and two, it's just so anti his life.
Mm-hmm. He's not a rich guy. He's just a wedding singer. So,
He's
a
all
wedding
about the
singer.
romance.
and it's so sad. I don't like that he's basically forced to like find a job to make more money. That's just not in him. I feel like, at least his character.
He's such a romantic and idealist.
Yeah, and I think he likes, he loves to do what he loves. Not for the money, but for the enjoyment.
Yeah. So he's upset and goes to the bar and starts to drink with his friend Sammy, who's still in his Michael Jackson outfit.
I think we're skipping past the fact that they had that big fight after he got back from the city.
Yeah, because he goes to the bank. He goes to a
Oh.
bank to try and get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
And it
work out.
Fails
so well.
miserably. And so he's mad. He comes back kind of pissed. And then
where
he's
he
like,
finds Julia waiting for him after having looked for him all day, and he confesses that he was trying to look for another job so that way he can provide stability for someone, and then alludes to the fact that that's the reason why he thinks that Julia is marrying Glenn, and basically flat out tells her that well, I guess the best way to put it is that she's almost like a gold digger, I guess, or that she's only marrying Glenn for the stability,
For the money.
for the money of
For the
it all.
money.
And so she calls him an asshole, throws this gift that she was going to give him in his face, and he realizes he was an asshole because she was giving him, like,
I am
a-
an asshole.
a genuinely
Yes.
nice gift.
I am an asshole. She was giving him, like, blank songwriting sheets, so that way he could pursue his songwriting dream, which is
And
his real
so-
career goal.
What does he do? He goes to the bar. Goes to have a drinky drink.
The bar.
And it's sad. He like is just drinking there by himself. And yeah, his friend comes in. Sammy. And I don't know, they have this like deep chat. It's like, I just want someone to hold me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy confesses that he's not super happy and he just wants to be held and tell him that everything's going to be okay.
And then this oldie at the bar comes to hug him and is like, everything's gonna be okay.
And I love that he accepts it too. He just like accepts the hug.
I mean, he literally said he was miserable, so it was just like, that's fucking deep. He's sad. So Robbie has enough liquid courage in him to go and confess his love to Julia. And during this time, she's like with her mom and she's trying on her wedding dress. So lovely, like moment. But then her mom, I feel like, kind of kills it. She's just like, oh, you just have cold feet. Like you don't know what you're thinking. Like, you know, it's just he's rich, he's handsome, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, of course you say he's rich first, like, you know, I'm sure she wants her daughter to be happy and have stability, but like I feel like the conversation was just not good or genuine, but whatever. I don't know what their relationship is like. Either way, Julia finds herself alone in her room, and she's with her wedding dress in the mirror, and she's like practicing her wedding speeches to guests, and she's like, "Hi, my name is Julia Gulia."
Well, because this is a very important detail. Glenn's last name is Gulia,
Ugh.
which horrible.
I think
It's awful.
What is it?
It's awful and
Awful
horrible.
and terrible, horrible.
I think one
It's
of the
horrible.
finer
Terrible.
moments. One of the finer moments is like the jokes that were in this movie, like that guy at the engagement party. He's like, "Hey, you're that guy that got stood up at his wedding. That sucked. That had to hurt, huh?" And he's like,
No,
"Yeah,
it
thanks.
actually felt good.
Yeah,
Thanks
for bringing that up."
My parents died 10 years ago. Do you want to talk about that?
Why would I want to talk about that? I don't know.
So good.
And I'm like, wow. And
That was
great.
really authentic. That's like something that you would want to say to someone, but you just really, you don't have the guts to say it right at their face. But man, was that funny.
and the same thing happened with the Gulia last name. It's like Julia's name is gonna be Julia Gulia. That's funny. And then Glenn's like, "Why is that funny?" And then Adam Sandler is like, he's like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
And I'm like, I thought
He's
it
so
was
great
funny.
at this.
Yeah.
Delivery is everything, and that's one of the things Adam Sandler does have.
But she's in the mirror, like, talking to herself. And then she's, like, breaking down, basically, because she's just like, I don't love this guy. I don't love this guy. And then she, like, perks herself up by pretending to deliver this story about her and Robbie. She's like, "Me and Robbie are so happy that you came to the wedding." And then she's, like, being all giddy in front of the mirror. And he spots her from outside the window. And he sees how happy she is, but he doesn't know that she's talking about him. And he thinks that she's talking
Heartbreaking.
Miscommunication.
Heart-wrenching. I felt it in my fucking gut.
I
was
love
like, no.
miscommunication because I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Think the opposite.
then
Think
what?
the opposite.
That's my
Same.
worst nightmare, dude.
I love it. Well, in movies, in real life, it's terrible. But in movies, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
This
It'll be
one
good. It's
wasn't
juicy.
There are a couple of movies where like miscommunication, just like pangs in the heart and everything happen. This one for me, that moment didn't necessarily have it.
Wow. When he turned away, I was just like, don't turn away. Please don't turn away. But he did, because he's like, he wants her to be happy. He couldn't do it.
Wait, why not, Antonio?
I
Why
can't tell
didn't
you why
hit?
it didn't. I can just tell you that it didn't.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't
One
it?
of these people doesn't have a heart. I'm just kidding.
Like,
Whoa.
He does.
Wow, how
he
quickly
does.
you turn on someone who
But
defended
I
you.
have to know why it didn't hit you.
it didn't. Well, I couldn't tell you why it didn't, but I could tell you movies that it kind of did, or it did.
Okay.
So, another amazing Drew Barrymore movie, Ever After.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my god.
Never seen it.
Dude, and you
Man.
like Drew Barrymore. You were just yelling at us about
That
it.
is
We're
one of
just
the
nutting
earliest
over her.
movies. That was one of the earliest movies that I felt like the little heartbreak moment.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
That one. And
Shrek 2.
you're not allowed to talk for the rest of this episode.
That is one, though.
No, it's not one of them.
Heart-wrenching.
All right.
It's not one of mine. The next one that I can think of is He's Just Not That Into You.
Oh, my God.
And then the last one is probably like the most weird of them. It's gonna be A Cinderella Story.
Bro, okay. Anyway,
Oh,
Wait,
fuck
the one
on.
yeah,
with Selena
bro.
Gomez?
Fuck yeah.
The one with
No, that's
Selena
good.
Gomez?
That's good.
No,
No, dude, the first
No.
one.
that's another Cinderella
The
story.
one with Hilary Duff?
Yes.
Yeah.
There were so many of them, okay?
There's only the two,
no,
I thought.
that's another Cinderella story.
There's a lot of Cinderella type stories, okay? I can't all get them in line. So Cinderella stories get you.
Yeah, I guess Cinderella stories do get me.
I cracked the code, you guys.
Oh my god.
This is
Dude,
not a Cinderella
what
story.
the fuck? Really?
It's not a Cinderella story enough for him, okay?
All right, anyway.
No, I love that. I love that facet of you, Antonelli.
Is no, I don't think he's just not that into you. Some way times into a Cinderella
No,
story.
it doesn't.
There's too many stories.
There's too many stories.
That one is just very specific as to the lines that happen in that movie.
Where are we?
We were
Anyway.
talking about how
Where are we?
miscommunication.
Miscommunication.
Oh, right.
Miscommunication.
Yes. So he goes back to the bar. He has like a beer with him, and he's like, "Yo, I couldn't do it." And his friends are like, "Ah, really?" And then the barkeep is like, "Yo, you can't drink that shit in here." And he's like,
Was that a beer? That was big.
I don't know what it was.
I think it was the whole bottle.
It was
He's like,
it was
yeah,
a
you
whole
can't.
bottle
Yeah,
or
you
something."
can't drink your own bottle of alcohol in a bar, guys.
Yeah, would not recommend. Don't do it. Don't bring your own alcohol into the bar.
I've seen somebody do it.
Oh my god.
And they're tiny.
Oh my.
And they hit it under their big shirt.
Oh my god.
And it's
Was
not
it
who
you
you
and your
think it is.
reflection? Oh,
I think
It's
maybe.
the lovable one.
Yeah.
The lovable
Ah.
tiny one.
Yeah, Troll Queen,
Great.
Yeah.
So
Goblin Queen.
Pulled it out of her shirt. I was like, dude. And it was like one of the tiny like bottles, but it was still a bottle of
okay.
alcohol.
I thought
mean-
you. I
Tiny
thought it
bottle
was
of
like
Like a
Tito's.
giant one. Oh, well, she also pulled. I think we were all. I don't know if we were all down. I think we were all downtown together, me and you, and other people. She pulled like a whole tall boy out of her pants because she had it under her shirt. She had a huge shirt. She just pulled it out, and we were like, dude,
All right.
icon.
Vegas,
PBR.
man.
It was a PBR tall boy. We were like, dude.
That detail matters to me.
Love it. But I mean, I guess for normies, regos,
If you're a newbie, don't do it because
Just
you won't
don't.
pull it off
you
well.
won't do it. Not unless you're pro.
Not until
You're
you have
seasoned.
a personality.
So out to the alley we go to drink this drink, and here come my friends. But we stumble out of the bar, and who do we see? Glenn.
Glenn Gulia.
And he's already drunk, so you know that was Four Lokos he was drinking.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
Those Four Locos in the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In this timeline, apparently.
So, yeah.
I don't know the
he's-
timeline of Four Locos, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the 80s.
It was back when it was Three Lokos.
I think
Oh, what a
Four
wonderful
Locos probably
story.
came out the same time we had like blue and purple and pink ketchup and mustard.
MD-4040s.
Cod soup.
Ketchup and mustard.
Good
I think
lord.
Four Locos and purple ketchup go together.
All right, Terrible. I don't think you have room to talk.
I'm like ready to vomit now. But here we are.
Anyway, he punches Glenn. No, wait. He tries to punch Glenn.
He
It didn't
he
work.
wants to, but his little like sad friend who's now wearing the Michael Jackson jacket throws the first punch, and he sadly misses so hard. And he's like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "I used to be stronger." And I was like, "Oh." And then he gets decked in the face by Glenn. So sad. We know that he clearly is cheating. He's out with women and his best friends, and he's like, "I'm here to have fun for my pre-bachelor party." And it's like, you have to have a pre-bachelor party? Come on.
He's an asshole. Of course he does.
Ugh. So it's sad. And obviously Robbie's like, he's all fucked up. He just got punched in the face. He goes home and he's just ready to knock the fuck out. And who does he come across when he goes home?
Fucking Linda.
Motherfucking Linda. I'm sorry. I know one good Linda. All the other Lindas, no.
Actually, I really like the name Linda. I've never met a Linda I didn't like.
I feel
I
like
have an
Lindas are
auntie.
bad. I feel like most Lindas are bad. And it's funny because, in Spanish, like, Linda's like linda. So it's like, you're supposed to be lovely.
I thought it was
Lovely.
beautiful.
It's different. It's like a different connotation. It means more like delicate. So like lovely is
But this Linda ain't lovely.
Are you gonna correct me?
No. Linda is not lovely.
Jeez.
She's here like, I'm here to take you back, baby. And then he passes the fuck out on the lawn. And he wakes up next to her. And she's wearing nothing but his Van Halen t-shirt. Ugh. And of course, she's already dressed like that in the morning. And who comes to the door to be like, hi, is Robbie home? It's Julia.
Not Linda this time. Linda's already inside.
Fucking Julia.
And Linda answers the
Too
door.
much.
She answers the door and she's like, oh, hey, who are you? And she's like, I'm Julia. you must be Linda. And she's like, yeah, oh my God, how did you know? And it's like, oh, I hate Linda so much, so hard. And so obviously Julia realizes, like, or she assumes that they're back together. And so she just runs off and goes to Glenn, and she's like, yo, we gotta get married, like, right now. We gotta go. Let's do this. And while she's running off to do that, we go back to Robbie waking up next to Linda, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Who even are you?
And he says, "Be gone, thought."
Yeah, and basically
then,
like kicks her out,
yeah.
even though she wants to get back together. But he's like, "No, dude, like you can't just settle. Like that's not how this works." So he kicks her out. And then it ends up being because he had throughout the movie he was teaching or giving singing lessons to Rosie for her 50th anniversary with her husband, so she can sing this song to him. Actually, I don't know the name of the song.
Till There Was You.
Till There Was You.
Till There Was You. So he was giving her singing lessons throughout the whole movie, so it ends up being their 50th anniversary, and he's there, obviously, to watch her, and she's singing this song to her husband. It was really cute.
I cried. That was Mark the first time.
Yeah,
that I
it
cried.
made me tear up. It was so cute. And
it was so sweet.
And I think during that song, he realizes he has to go after her. So he goes to go after her, and Holly comes in and is like, wait a second, like, I gotta talk to you for a second. Are you still with Linda? And he's like, no, what the fuck? Who told you that?
The fuck?
And she's like, Julia did. You know, Linda answered the door, blah, 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 the whole miscommunication.
Ugh.
And she's like, they're on a flight to Vegas right now. Like, she wants to get married, like, now, even though they're supposed to get married the next day. So,
That's so impatient.
hey, I mean, when you're upset.
And you're in a movie,
Hey.
and you have the money.
Yeah.
Fly here.
If you're
to get
upset and
married.
you have the money, you could do a lot.
Yeah.
Look. Even if the wedding wasn't happening the next day, I feel like Glenn would have had any fucking excuse to go to Vegas.
Well, that's what he wanted to do in the first place.
I know, but I feel like he would still put on the wedding the next day, but he'd be like, yo, let's go to Vegas. No fucking big deal. You know? And obviously he doesn't give a shit, but he plans the fucking trip. And then Robbie races to the airport. And on his way, he gets inspiration to write a song.
It's not a rom-com without an airport scene. Or an airplane. Something in the air.
Mm-hmm. And so
What
we
was the
get...
last- What was the newest rom-com that you guys have seen?
Isn't that gay one from the Christmas?
Oh, Happiest Season.
Oh my god, is that really the last one?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
that might
say
be the
about
last
that
one I watched.
I'm angry about that one.
Sorry, I derailed that.
Because I didn't like the, what was her name? Kristen Stewart's girlfriend in the movie. I liked Kristen Stewart, but I didn't like the girlfriend.
Oh, I
loved-
meaning to watch it.
I loved Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet.
No, this goes back to like Antonia's thing about rom-coms. I'm like, I'll get to it at some point.
It's
Yeah,
really
the
good.
only reason why I saw it was because Sky put it on and I was in the room.
I also watched it because it was a gay Christmas movie.
Yeah, no, it sounds great.
Sorry. So, they rushing through the airport scene. They only have one seat left on a flight. The next one isn't until the next day. He has
And
to
it's
borrow
first
money.
class?
Yeah, and it's first class. That was the important thing.
Oh, man.
So he has to borrow money from his friend, get on this flight, and then this just weird out of nowhere like first class experience scene. You know, hot towel. What do you do with a hot towel on a plane? Never had hot towel service, so I also would not have.
I would
not
have
have
done
known
the
what I
same
needed to
thing, and I'm
do.
like,
I mean, I kind of understand it now as a general like concept. It's other things as well, but I'm like still like, does it really do anything for you? Maybe.
What's in it?
It's just
literally
a hot
just
towel.
heated with it's just hot water on a towel and then like wrung out.
Oh, I thought you said there's other things in it, and I'm like, what other things are in it? Essential oils?
Maybe.
Potentially, who knows? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just to like wipe down your face if you're sweaty or anything. I don't know what. I mean, I guess after an 8-hour flight, where are they at?
They say Ridgeway, but I don't know where
like,
that is.
means
I
in
feel like it's
comparison to the
East
country.
Coast because there's like I feel like so many East Coast elements, but it also seems like a small town. It's really hard to tell. I'm gonna.
But
look
they
that
also
up.
have
They
like
could
that.
be in
Like,
they could be in Henderson for all I know.
they could be in Florida.
Oh, perish the thought. But he gets up there, and we have a surprise appearance by celebrity William Idol.
Yeah.
And man, I forget how hot Billy Idol is.
Oh, I found out.
Oh,
I also agree. Billy Idol is hot in this movie.
Mhm.
It's Ridgeway, New Jersey.
Field.
Joyzy.
Richfield.
That
Oh,
makes
sorry,
sense because they're all fucking
Ridgefield.
Italian.
Isn't Ridgeway like the murderer name?
What?
Harry Ridgway, right?
Oh. Yeah.
Oops. You could see my true crime showing. I apologize.
You can see Dalia's other podcast, the true crime one.
I don't want to talk about true crime. It's depressing. I want to talk about fun things. Like New Jersey. Just kidding. Who wants to visit New Jersey?
Depressing.
I could smell it from
Depressing.
here. Sorry, New Jersey.
Oh my god.
You're on my list. But anyway, we're in the air. There was these great like plane transitions. I really liked those.
I
And
did
it was
too.
like dun, 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 and then all you see is like the plane flying overhead, and I'm like, what is this?
Right, because Robbie's telling the story to Billy Idol and a captive audience of everyone around him in
They're
first class.
enthralled.
Man.
Just like me.
And what is it? The waitress? No, waitress. The flight attendant that is also servicing the coach.
The air waitress.
Coach cabin. She's like, oh my god, this guy totally made this comment towards me about being like top choice grade A meat or whatever, and he's like, I fucking heard that shit before because Glenn said that, and so he takes a peek into Coach, and who does he see?
Love of his life.
Oh my god,
Julia
they're
Gould.
here.
Glenn.
They're on the same plane. And so he had fully like captured the attention of everybody in first class, and they're like, he's like, yo, they're on the same fucking plane. They're like, no way.
T.
Over the top.
Basically.
And it's like, yo, we gotta make this shit fucking happen. So Billy Idol uses his sexy voice to talk to everybody on the
Oh,
plane.
fuck, man.
And then
Read me a fucking audiobook, man. Read me a fucking phone book.
you should write him
I
an
don't give a
email.
shit.
You're like, read
Can
the
I
phone book
fucking
for
add
me.
him?
Is he on anything on Audible? Insert Audible ad
I'm
here.
gonna fucking find out. I'll tell you that.
But he helps Robbie sing a song to Julia, and like she immediately knows it's Robbie singing, and it's like so lovely. And one of the other great original songs of this movie. It's so fantastic.
It's so cute.
It's
That
great.
was very cute.
Grow Old With You.
It's such a romantic song, and like I don't want to say an ordinary way, but like it's just so charming, and talking about like the things that does
Simple.
happen when
The
you
slice
get
of life
older.
things.
Yeah. And it's just so nice. I love that song. It makes me cry every time I hear it.
You
It's
know
so
who
nice.
it didn't make cry? Glenn, because he's like, I gotta stop this now. And you're on a plane. What are you gonna do? So he tries to come up the aisle, and the flight attendant is like, sorry, sir, I gotta serve the beverages. And
Nay,
so
nay.
he climbs over everybody else, and then he's in the aisle again on the other side. And Billy Idol's there to be like, sorry. And then he's like, you better get out of the way, Billy, or you're gonna get hurt. And then some dude who's a Billy Idol fanatic is like, nobody talks to Billy that way.
It was a fabulous, fabulous moment.
It all just
The
worked
most
out.
just like ridiculous situation.
Everybody's dream.
So great.
And it was really lovely. We see that fucking Glenn gets tossed in the bathroom and they finish off the song, and then they kiss, and then they get
Transition to the wedding.
they get married. They do it. He finally gets married. The guy who loves love. The guy who got tummy.
Wow, that was so loud. I could hear it through my headphones, and it stopped you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they get married, and then, you know, it's cool. We have another hidden Steve Buscemi singing the song at the end.
Love is love. Love wins.
Love wins.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
That's the vice president you just quoted.
What a world.
What a world.
Fabulous. I remembered watching this, why I love rom-coms and why I avoid them. They fucking ruin me every time. I'm like, how dare you add to my unrealistic expectations of a relationship?
Yeah.
Because they always say, like, oh, well, rom-coms don't show you the after, the making it work, the hard stuff. But I'm like, but this part's so cute.
It's so adorable. Man.
Oh, this part's so cute.
So how does that translate
Some
into
of-
other movies, like horror movies or Lord of the Rings or anything like that? What happens after all those?
I don't know, but this part was cute. Them going to Mordor, cute. Hey, Dalia, have you seen Lord of the Rings?
I have seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I was about to say.
Oh, my fucking gun's drawn, baby.
Did you see the Hobbit series?
I did.
That's
Okay.
I made Antoine watch the movies with me after. I think I saw the first one with my ex, and then after those other movies came out, I made him watch them with me, and he so lovingly came, probably just for the popcorn. But I thought they were good.
Some expensive ass popcorn.
It's so good though.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so good.
But I
all right.
like those movies.
They're good.
All right. Let's get some immediate reactions.
Hot cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, obviously the divisive Drew Barrymore, but I don't want to get into that because I like our friendship.
It'll survive.
Dalia has
Will
a
it?
knife out.
My love is not fragile.
I don't know. It seemed like there was there for a second.
That was a Frozen 2
A little
quote.
barbed.
I was like, oh god.
Okay, Kristoff. My love is not fragile.
Yes.
I'm not hurt by your opinions. They're yours. I'm not allowed to tell you otherwise. I'm just here to mess around with you.
And also to tell you that you're wrong.
That I'm wrong. But Adam Sandler was really cute in this, which I won't say ever again.
I know, even in that
'em.
80s haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he's
cute.
very cute in this.
He had such shiny eyes, just like very shiny eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It was
Very
1998,
nice
so
shiny eyes.
he was very young by at that time. So
It looks like he's 18, basically.
he's so young. By then, I'm pretty sure he was already in his late 20s. So for sure, and man, but hot cast for sure.
And Holly for sure. Ha na na na.
Hana no no no.
And soundtrack amazing. Every single time that came on,
Fantastic.
we would be fist pumping.
If
Fist
you
every single time.
if you had to buy a CD and
This would be
listen
it.
to it for the rest of your fucking life, and you love the 80s, this is the fucking soundtrack you want to listen
Yeah.
It
to.
has everything.
And including
Everything you
like
could
the
ever want.
original songs. They're all
Yeah.
they're all bangers.
They're all so good. So 100%, like the songs definitely made it for me. I'm just like living my 80s dream. Like we were in the club, we were driving down
I
the
miss it.
street, like, you know, we're just hanging out. Like it really was so here and there and everywhere. It was perfect. Just
It
best
made me
mix.
miss 80s night so much.
I miss 80s night.
Sad. But it's so good. Like literally I'm like, I'm gonna go look up this soundtrack. Just like put it as like a playlist for me.
Yeah.
Because it's all the songs I love.
Yeah. They're all good songs.
They did it curated just for you. Yes. Did we find out who the costume designer was for this?
No, I didn't look it up, me in particular. But I do think that the costumes were very apropos to like the time period and everything.
I think so. Even at the beginning, you're like, that is such an 80s like bridesmaid dress. You're like, ooh. And even the brides too. It was really like all good outfits all around.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck to the time period pretty well. Even the haircuts for sure. I mean, this was like what, 8 years after the 80s had ended technically, so
Yeah.
they didn't have too much room to fuck it up. They probably went into like their parents' closet and been like, "Hey, can I borrow that?"
Should we go through, before we go through like whether it's worth it or not, some quotes?
Yes, because we forgot.
Things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
Or
That's
3
it.
hours ago.
I have a couple.
Did we write any down?
Thank you.
fellas.
Thank you, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that one was funny.
What fucking killed me.
I wrote down,
well-
hey, Linda, you're a bitch.
Well, I have the microphone and you don't, so you will listen to every goddamn thing I have to say.
That was a good one,
That's
too.
a T-shirt.
I love that.
Sounds about
What
right
about
on this
you
freaking
two?
podcast.
Mhm.
What about you, Dalia Antonio?
Oh, I said mine very early on.
Oh, right.
I think there
Nelly?
were some really good parts, but I can't think of any like quotes that like spoke out to me that you guys haven't already covered.
So did you like this movie overall?
Was it worth the hype? Antonio, why don't you start?
I think I would have been okay if I never saw it, but I do think that it was cute. So, you know, if I had to compare this to the other one, 50 First Dates, I would say that you have to watch 50 First Dates.
Just period.
Just
take.
period.
So, someone should watch that one instead of this one.
Yes.
This is
I mean, I don't
this
know
is
how
not
well-
worth watching.
Yeah,
but
I don't
50
know.
First Dates
I'm
is.
sure you guys have a much bigger spot for this in your hearts and everything. But it's not big enough for me to like override how I feel about other rom-coms that I've seen.
I'll accept it. It's wrong, but
Damn.
I accept it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really funny.
Alexa, stop
Ah!
listening.
Alexa did not like this opinion. I was like, sorry, I don't know this one. No, I really liked it. I love rom-coms. I just don't watch them enough, and I've missed every single one of them except for the one that's my favorite. I loved it. It was really funny. I had a lot of laughed out louds. I had a lot of laughed out louds.
A lot of laughs
sorry.
out loud.
I'm really, it's really late with me. So I'm just like, oh, a lot of laugh. A lot of laugh.
I laugh lots.
I
I laugh flats.
laugh, love, laugh and love. I love
I
love,
lived,
guys.
I laughed, I loved.
I love love, and it was so cute, and I've never been so charmed by Adam Sandler. It was cute. I liked it, and the soundtrack was so good, and it was 80s, and I enjoy it. If you love love, I recommend it.
If you're more discerning, 50 First Dates is a better piece.
Damn. Okay,
For a
when we
more-
watch this movie, like, we're gonna have to. Actually, Ketzel, I feel
Oh yeah,
like you're
then I'll
the
fucking come for you.
you're the deciding factor for that because
Oh yeah.
We have
Man,
fully
does the
formed
closure?
opinions.
Maybe this movie just doesn't have the same like staying power at the end. Like the closing scenes are very different. It's also this movie is much older than the other one, and so
Yeah, and the other one's like it. This is a rom-com. The other one is a rom-com, but it's also drama too. It's
yeah,
like a dramedy.
I
Jam com.
think it's like it's a triple threat.
Ram-com.
use his government name.
It's like a
Jam
drom-com.
Ramcom.
But yeah, so it's they're different.
They are different.
Wow, you really?
They're only comparable
You wanna
because they're
fight about
like
it.
They're both
romance,
Adam
and they're
Sandler
both-
and they're
yeah.
both Drew Barrymore. But
I don't know, but people really like every single person I told, like, oh yeah, we're watching The Wedding Singer. They were all like, oh, the wedding. Like everyone loves this movie. Like they'll have such a and would say a quote that I'm like, obviously I don't know what you're saying because like I've never seen this film, but like it just has a nice little spot in everyone's hearts, and I can see why. It's really cute. And I don't know, Adam Sandler's so earnest, and Drew is too in this, so I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yay! Boo! I'm just kidding.
looks
No,
over at Antonio. Boo.
valid points. I'm excited to eventually watch 50 First Dates so we can have the Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore rom-com showdown.
Yeah, we talked
Coming
about
to
it
you
so
next
much,
summer,
I'm gonna have to
2022.
fucking figure
Yeah.
out where.
How to watch it soon?
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel
Well,
like we should.
It'll
January.
be fresh.
Yeah, so I'll figure it out, I guess.
Catch
But
us in January.
I'm trying not to make you the loser so much, but it ends up being. So.
You or
We all thought
Dalia?
We all thought it would be Dalia, but suddenly the Coons is me.
And that concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, losers.
Bye,
You
losers.
both are so stupid. Bye, losers.
Bye.
losers.
Bye.
Bye, losers.
Bye, losers. Before that, in this scene, and I feel like this was the scene because they kept panning to Drew Barrymore's face a lot, and I told myself, I'm like, I don't think Drew Barrymore is attractive to me, but they kept panning, and I'm like, I'm gonna try and see it. And in this scene, I was like, I can't do it. I don't think I can. And I know, Dalia, you love her, but I was like, I never saw the appeal.
You guys love Sweater Daddy Chris Jamal Evans in Knives Out.
Are you
guys
comparing
love
Drew Barrymore
Jam
to Chris
Ramcom.
Evans?
No. You guys love these garbage ass
Let her
characters, and you're just like, oh my god, but don't you just love him because he's attractive or whatever? And I'm just like, no, I don't, because I don't like terrible people, okay? And Drew Barrymore, she's a wonderful character in this
She's a
movie,
delight
okay?
in everything she's
not-
in.
And even though
she's not a great
character. She's charming.
even though she's not classically pretty or attractive to you, I find her absolutely beautiful and amazing, and I'm in love with her.
Man.
Damn.
And maybe
Dalia
this
went
is
off.
this is my equivalent of like Jam Ramcom to you guys. Fuck you guys,
Really?
Well,
No,
Yeah.
that's a fair comparison.
because I don't have many celebrity crushes.
that's fair.
That's a fair
That's
comparison.
And Drew Barrymore has been through a lot in her life, and I know a lot of that other stuff.
She has
Oh,
been.
Yes.
and we're not.
But just this,
we know.
but just this character of like Julia, I think she's so great. And like, I know you're sitting there being like, is it doing it for me?
this is
And
this
it's
is the
just
same
like Kevin
conversation to
Bacon.
me.
It's like just like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
Like
it's Channing
personality.
Tatum.
The personality does it for me. Do I find them attractive?
No.
But I'll let it slide.
So you don't find Drew Barrymore
no, I
attractive.
do find her attractive. I would date her. I would
Okay,
kiss
so-
her.
I'm just saying, if I'm here dragging Channing Tatum for being a very good guy, but I'm like, he's not attractive, then I'm gonna do the same to Drew Barrymore. She's lovely, super charming in this. I don't see it.
That's fair.
I'm gonna give them the fair treatment here.
That's fair. Your opinion is wrong, but that's fair.
Sky, back me up here, please.
No.
I feel like I'm drowning, man.
No,
you
and
should be drowning.
no, I think the same thing. I don't.
Was it the haircut?
I also don't like the
It's-
hair
no.
in this movie.
I'm
I
not
will
the
not
biggest
like
fan
it.
of the
I
hair,
don't
but
like
I
it.
do. I don't think that they're right at all.
I
when it
will
comes to
say,
Drew
can I
Barrymore not
fucking
being
say my
attractive.
piece first? I was gonna say I don't think she's super attractive when she was younger. I think as she's gotten older, she has gotten more
Yes,
attractive.
yes.
And I do find her very
I will
charming in
agree
this
with
movie.
that.
I love Julia. I do. I love everything about this movie. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do
agree
like
with
Drew
Sky there. I
Barrymore.
think
She has gone through a lot in her life. I do know
Yeah,
that.
she has.
But I
not
don't
knocking her
find her
personality.
attractive in this movie. I find her attractive. Like, she has a talk show now.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
I
don't
watched
watch
like
it,
I
but
watched
I
I,
wish I
happened to
could.
watch an episode of it because someone I love was on it. But
Was it
I
Jam
said-
Ramcom?
No, it wasn't. But I saw her on it and I was like, she's very pretty in this. So I do think she's very pretty now, but like back then, no.
Yeah, even Charlie's Angels. I'm gonna say, that I just
It
doesn't
totally
do it
did
for me.
it
I
for me
haven't
and
seen that,
Charlie's
so I
Angels.
can't
So
say anything.
she totally did it for me.
What's
and
it like to
Charlie's
be so
Angels.
wrong so many times in your life?
And honestly,
I don't know the feeling because I'm not wrong.
just judging on like what like the things I've seen of Charlie's Angels, it's Lucy Liu. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's Lucy.
It's
Liu.
It's
Drew
Lucy
Barrymore
Liu
You-
for me.
It's
Lucy
Drew
Liu
Barrymore
for
for
me.
me.
It's
Because
Lucy
I
Liu's
also
right
don't
there.
like
Lucy
Cameron
Liu
Diaz.
wins, but in order of like ranking, it goes Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore,
Cameron Diaz.
and then Cameron Diaz.
I
at
would
the
no,
bottom.
I would agree with that.
Nothing against Cameron Diaz, because God bless Fiona, but
She's all right.
you know,
Yeah, no.
she plays a
Anyway.
really ditzy character, so.
I'm sorry. I'm too busy being gay for Lucy Liu to like.
I love Lucy Liu. Everything I've seen her, and I'm like, wow, she's amazing.
wow.
Because we watched this, Antonio was watching this movie, and I happened to be in the room, and it was what was it called?
The Man with the Iron Fists.
Oh yeah, and Lucy Liu was on it. Beautiful,
Man.
love her.
Kiss. I feel like you and me turn just fucking like those cartoon wolves with like that start going ooh.
Awooga.
I see Lucy Liu.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you guys are being gross. Okay.
Dude. Okay, let's move on. 'Cause
I'm gay.
No. Well, Dalia just yelled at us for not liking Drew Barrymore in this movie.
No, I'll
I
let
didn't
you.
know
I'll
this
let
was
you
gonna be such a
live.
sore
I'll let you
subject.
live with your wrong opinions. But okay.
I'm
Man,
you know
but
what?
All
damned
right.
if you're ever going to be back on this podcast, right?
Never being invited back.
I'll defend Drew Barrymore forever and always, no matter what she does.
Good.
She's a
I'm
good
glad.
person.
I'm so glad.
And
She's
she
a
is
good
attractive.
person.
I'm so glad she has
and
you.
I'm sorry you guys don't see that, but your
So glad
eyes
she
are
has
your
you.
eyes are bad. You need to get them checked.
Dude, I'm wearing glasses.
I'm wearing glasses too, and I can see.
Maybe you need to get your eyes checked.
Get out of my house.
No.
This podcast is canceled.
All right.
No.
All right.